evening, everyone. Welcome back once again to Vicious Rants. And of course, I'm your host, your YouTube Messiah, and often imitated, never duplicated superstar Tim Vicious. And gonna go over Raw this week. At this point, it's kind of redundant just saying where it's at because, you know, like I said last week, until further notice, it's at the Performance Center. So, before we get into last week's, now, no big, uber big wrestling news hit. They did announce that 2K21 is not going to happen, which, given the recent amount of how many, given the fact that pretty much everything went into shutdown and lockdown, not much of a surprise because from a game developing and coding standpoint, that would have been a nightmare to try and get that kind of work going from home. You know, but the fact that they announced earlier today, as of the day of this recording, a trailer for an arcade 2K game called Battlegrounds. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty stoked for that. I'm hoping for that. You know, hell, I love a good old-fashioned arcade beat 'em up fighting game like that. You know, can't count how many quarters I put into the arcade machines having the Road Warriors beat up Andre the Giant and $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase on the WrestleMania arcades. But digress. No big news other than that, really. So, before we get into this week's, let's shift gears, go into last week, talk about the SmackDown Rewind. Big highlights from last week's SmackDown. Baron Corbin went against Drew Gulak in a Money in the Bank qualifying match. Corbin won, which, common sense given the fact that Daniel Bryan was in the match. And now that they're paired up buddy-buddy, you know, there was no way from a logic standpoint would they have done that? You know? So it's, I don't know, again, the way I think, I don't bother to worry about the ending because 9 out of 10 times I can see on how the ending is going to go before it happens. So I worry about everything that leads up to the ending. And, yeah, Lacey Evans beat Sasha Banks in a Money in the Bank qualifying match, so she's going to be in the Money in the Bank match. This Friday coming up, the last 2 spots for the SmackDown one is going to be fulfilled. It's Otis against Ziggler. Smart money's on Ziggler for that one. And Carmella against Mandy Rose. 10 get you 20. Sonya Deville's going to run interference and cost Mandy the match. So, yeah. Now with that said, let's get into this week's show. It starts off with MVP ballin' with the VIP lounge. And some people were cracking jokes saying, you know, like, oh man, he's got futons in there, this, that, and the other. Motherfucker, given the fact on what we got going on right now, I consider the fact that they were able to get a fucking futon, a goddamn upgrade from them nasty little $30 fake pleather couches that you get out of Walmart or some shit. You know? Just, damn. But yeah. At the VIP lounge, Rey Mysterio, Aleister Black, and Apollo Crews all came out, hyping up the Money in the Bank match. MVP's putting his money on Apollo Crews winning. I'm not entirely sure on who's going to win the Money in the Bank. I've been playing it in my head. It could honestly go any kind of way. But getting to that at a later point. Partway through, next thing you know, out comes Zelina Vega, which, oh my god. Honest to goodness, the true MVP of WWE right now, during this whole lockdown situation is fucking Zelina Vega. Hands down, because she's been getting as much, if not more TV time than any main eventer out there. And again, I say, anytime I see Zelina Vega, all I can think is, Aleister Black, you modern day Billy Kidman overachieving son of a bitch bastard. Yeah. Had to get that out there. Good now? I'm good? I'm cool. Zelina Vega came out, cut promo saying on how, you know, you three guys are all in the Money in the Bank match, but, you know, all the while, you have all lost to all of these guys here. The United States Champion Andrade, Angel Garza, and Austin Theory. So why don't you guys give up your spots and give them to my boys. Ray just picked up. You want us to give up our spots and give them to you, yeah? Chica loco. Pretty much, once Ray said, I was like, yeah, straight up. That is some straight up loco, man. Yeah. But yeah, Ray wound up saying, you know, you three come out here like that. I don't think you're out here looking to have a conversation. I think you're looking for a wham. Throws a punch. Next thing you know, we get a big brouhaha. Cut the end of first sequence. Fade to black. We come back and we got a match going on now with Rey Mysterio, Aleister Black, and Apollo Crews against Garza, Andrade, and Theory. Also, I do want to highlight that Samoa Joe is on the commentating team again, which, thank you God in heaven, and I say this as a compliment. So before anyone starts getting all sorts of butthurt on how I'm saying it or how I'm phrasing it, keep that opening sentence in mind. Samoa Joe moving into commentary, I'm very much so for, like in the same way Taz moved from wrestler to commentator, and you know, and one thing I've learned watching so many documentaries, listening to interviews, podcasts, this, that, and the other, with WWE, if you can put as many different feathers in your hat as you can and be able to do 20 different jobs, not all at the same time, but being able to do 20 different jobs, that is more job security than being the one lone guy that can do this one task. So, you know, and Joe, he is very much so a natural talent in the fact of the way he can articulate and tell a story. Like, he accentuates the positive. Trying to think the right way to put this. He puts the talent, he accentuates what the talent's reasons are for what they're doing, whether they're heroes or villains. That's what he does. And I absolutely love that. Now back to the match. I had a nice solid start with Black and Garza. Next thing, Black wound up becoming the punching bag for a bit, and then Black was the punching bag until after the break. Once the break was done, Ray got the hot tag in, started cleaning up house. Faces started picking up the lead. Next thing you know, Ray was the punching bag after that, after the second commercial break. And then Apollo Crews got the hot tag in. And I'm not going to lie, when you do this in a trios match, it's kind of a good thing because I kind of dig it because it gives a chance to let all the talent get a chance to shine instead of everyone trying to get quick tags in and then have the one lone person in the team get the hot tag or deprive one person for 99.98% of the match, you know? But either way, Crews got the hot tag in for the second time, started cleaning up house. Next thing you know, he got the win doing a sit-down powerbomb to Andrade and got the 1, 2, 3 in the back. You hear Andrade talking about on how the boys failed him. They weren't there for him to stop that pin, this, that, and the other. And then on Charlie Caruso, which another MVP from all this. Good God Almighty! Yeah, more Charlie Caruso now with with Raw with the world on lockdown than we have before. Ugh. Focus, man, focus. Andrade winds up cutting a promo saying that any one of those guys, if they could take him on anytime, anywhere, and he'll be willing to put his title on the line. Cruz came over. Hey, I heard you talking. You say you want to put him up anytime, anywhere? I'll do it. Yeah? When you want that essay? When do I want? How about right now? Wham! Like, that thud was what you heard. And it was like, hey, Charlie Murphy, what 5 fingers say to the face? Wham! Like, smack the taste right out of his mouth. You know? So, we're getting a match later tonight between Apollo Crews and Andrade for the U.S. title. But before that, would say we got a match coming up next, but it never technically happened. Asuka, Nia Jax, and Shayna Baszler. It was pretty much, before the match even started, Shayna pulled Asuka out of the ring, started beating the shit out of her. Nia came in. All three of them started beating on each other, and it ended with Nia holding the ladder, looking like she was about to go and slamming on both girls, and it was like, boom, threw it behind her. It was like, and just gave that look of, I want you to remember that. I could have fucking ended you right here. I could see Nia winning. I could see Nia winning the women's Money in the Bank. As far as guys, Daniel Bryan would probably be the most logical, but honestly, I'm not 100% sure at this point. But either way, next match we got Bobby Lashley doing a match against NXT hopeful Denzel Dejournette. I think his name was pronounced. I don't know. But it was a squash match. Lashley clobbered him quick, got the win with a spear. The big story that was in this, though, was on how he was saying he didn't want Lana to come out ringside because he was a distraction to her, because he's just so entranced by her beauty. He can't focus on his match, which is the happy wife, happy life lie to say, no, honey, listen, seriously. I got to put earplugs in if you're out there. You got to stay back here. So, yeah. Next up, we got women's action. Liv Morgan. Okay, this was when I'm pretty sure I had my third heart attack of the night, when Liv Morgan came out. Liv Morgan going against Ruby Riott. Really quick match. This was a quick match. Ruby, she led it for the majority of it until it came to an end when Liv, out of nowhere, hit that springboard flatliner. They say now that she's calling that Oblivion. Get it? Oblivion. Yeah. And then got the 1, 2, 3. That's it. Next up, we got another match. Akira Tozawa coming against the returning modern-day Maharaja, Jinder Mahal. And I know a lot of people are going to probably shit on me for this. And if you want to shit on me for it, you're more than rightful to do so. That's your right to. That is your God-given right to not agree with my opinion on it. But I for one, am all for the Jinder Mahal experiment. You know, when Jinder got the #1 contendership, I sat and I thought about it. It was very much so, it had a chance to springboard him, very much so in the same way JBL. And a lot of people were saying, oh, well, WWE only gave Jinder the title because they were signing a deal with India and all this, that, and the other. That just sounds extremely foolish and childish to think we're going to put a championship title on somebody just to appease a company. just to appease a particular television provider. You know, that just makes no sense. You know, I was all for the Jinder Mahal experiment as him as world champion. I'm hoping at some point we may even eventually get a half decent match between Jinder and Drew. You know? And then, you know, who knows, maybe 5 months after the lockdown's over and everything is back to normal-ish, we see the return of a super jacked up, we see the return of a jacked, super buffed Heath Slater. I mean, it worked out for the other guys. Drew McIntyre got fired, got super jacked, became world champion. Jinder Mahal got fired, got super jacked, became world champion. Heath Slater got fired. Now we play the waiting game. Jinder Mahal, he got the win over Tozawa, did the Colossus. Hopefully we'd see good things coming with Jinder down the road. Now we come to Andrade versus Cruz. Nice little slow and steady start, but Andrade, he was leading the pace, working on Cruz's one knee, which that happened. Cruz, he went to go do a springboard moonsault to the outside. When he landed, tweaked his knee, and then Andrade focused on it, worked on it, and Cruz wound up selling it. Much to his credit, he did good with it. But match came to an end due to ref stoppage because as Cruz was building a comeback, for whatever reason, he decided to go up, do a frog splash, landed, and just yeah. So ref went to go check on him. Can you keep going? Can you keep going? Just give me a sec. Just give me a sec. Just give me a sec. And then the ref was like, no, that's it. End it. End it now. So yeah. Your winner and still U.S. champ Andrade. Whether Cruz is still going to be in the match in 2 weeks or not, don't know. I'm not pulling him out just yet. But next match we got Ricochet and Cedric Alexander going against some small-time jobber guys, which Ricochet, he was the punching bag until Alexander got the hot tag in, cleaned up house. Then they got the finish doing like this drop kick flatliner looking move. And it was, not gonna lie, that was pretty damn impressive on that. But yeah. Now we come to the closing segment of the night. Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins contract signing with Jerry Lawler. Which, thank God Drew was there because Drew hit the nail on the head once he got in the ring. First, Seth came out, nice $1 million looking suit, wearing his one black glove because only a madman would keep one hand completely wrapped up in a black glove-like thing. You know, because who would do something like... Never mind. Seth came out with the black hand gimmick still. And then, nice $1 million looking suit, looking almost Agent 47-esque from Hitman. And then Drew McIntyre came out, nice jeans, t-shirt, leather jacket, just looked straight at King. Listen, King, knowing how these contract signings go, so why don't you do yourself a favor and get on out of here now. And then Drew signs it. Go on, Seth. Let's get this over with. Sign it. You hit me in the head 2 weeks ago. Twice. Let's get this over with. Seth then winds up going on this long spiel about on how he's a leader, he's the Messiah, and this, that, and the other. Drew says, you're the leader. You're the Messiah. Where are your followers? They ain't here. It's just you and me. And come Money in the Bank, your ass is mine. Paraphrasing, mind you. And then next, wham, slams Seth's head into the table, flips the table out, throws out the stuff, beats the crap out of Seth, lines him up for a Claymore when Murphy out of nowhere, wham, kicks him in the side of the face, starts working on him a little. Next thing you know, then Murphy becomes the sacrificial lamb, which McIntyre even said, "That's your follower, huh? It's your follower? It's the sacrificial lamb. It's the only one you got." So yeah, contract signed, it's signed, sealed, it's official. Money in the Bank match between Seth and Drew. Honestly, I see Drew winning this one. So yeah. So that is it for this week's show, folks. Like on normal, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the other episodes. Look for me on the Twitter at Tim Vicious, also on that Facebook gimmick Tim Ash. If you're gonna find me on my Facebook gimmick, let me know you found me in there from here, or on my Twitter at Tim Vicious. If you think you got your creep drum going. Big thanks to my executive producer Ali Rewind Ben, who provided the music for this week's show. Check his music out on iTunes, Spotify, even here on the YouTube and such. Details are down below. You also want one of these sweet Ali Rewind shirts, hit me up and I'll talk to that man for you. Show him some love and support. Also, big thanks to contributor to the show, LFC Lingerie Fighting Championship. They're a little bit of wrestling, a little MMA, and a whole lot of attractive women wearing a little bit of nothing. And given the fact that we're all in lockdown right now, we could all use some particular recreational forms of activity. Also, folks, don't forget to follow these cool-ass cats right here on the Twitter, Asomalian, Kenny Killer, DSB_IV, Diabolica RA, and Sergeant Curry Pants. Folks, like I always tell y'all, you love me great, you hate me. Fuck you.